Welcome, 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 everyone, to this new episode of Generally Irritable. Oh, shoot, you guys, my alarm on my phone is going off. I need to give myself a B12 shot.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What is
Hey, guys. Hey, guys. Welcome back to Generally Irritable. I know it's been a minute. Ben and I have been working on a lot of new, different kinds of projects. You guys will be hearing about that soon. I've got a new documentary coming out that I produced, and then we're in editing of another documentary.
Wow.
Yes, so that's really cool. But we decided to bring our special guest, Mr. Chip Howell of Elephant in the Room Strategies, to do a movie review, a special movie review of Melania, the story of Mrs. Trump. Fwah, fwah, fwah. I think I feel like I should have hit the sound effect again. You know what? Here, I'm gonna take.
You missed the moment.
I feel like I'm yelling because I've got my headphones on. I
You're
can't
fine.
hear myself. Oh, okay. All right, you guys. So, Chip, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Chip is a political strategist. He also is a Ben Franklin enthusiast. If you guys haven't seen our interview that we did together, Chip interviewed Ben Franklin interviewed Mark Meckler of the
Correct.
Convention of States about the Constitution and how we've mucked it all up over the last
of the
250 years. So that was really fun.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
really good.
It turned out really great. I'm very proud of the product, and we're going to be releasing some shorts here in a little while that are going to help people to see just pieces of it rather than having to sit through the whole thing.
Yes, and because there's some good zingers in
There
there.
is.
There's some good one-liners.
It's really good, and it's good information that every American should know about.
I would agree. And if you are in the Central Texas area, you have to go to one of Chip's events. Pints and Politics, Smoking Hot Conservatives. Where can people sign up for like the newsletter or when to hear when your events are?
That's a good question.
Do you have a newsletter?
We do. We send out reminders of each event.
Yeah. I get emails for that, right?
Get tons of emails. So, like we had an event last night, our premiere, our flagship event, Pints and Politics at Lake Belton. We did a run through of the candidates. I like to call it the parade of candidates.
Okay.
And they get a 2 minutes to make 4 points. There's 4 specific points, and it went really well. So we do that. The one Pints and Politics before early voting on any election. So we'll do it again before the municipal elections in May.
Okay.
Before it'll be most of our April ones.
Okay.
So we do have every Thursday night, for the most part, we have a Pints and Politics in a different area. So the first Thursday of the month, that's going to be at Lake Belton at Dead Fish Grill. The second Thursday of the month is at the All Good in Cedar Park. That's one of our new ones, the newest locations. Okay. The third is at Area 254 in Killeen, and which is also new area. Okay. And we're very excited because Area 254 has come in to collaborate with us on that one. Usually they charge money for the space. Okay. And they are coming in as a collaborator and a sponsor in that way, so that we can get word out about them as well.
Nice job. All good. All good.
No, that's Area 254.
Oh, sorry, Area 254 in Killeen. All right.
We're very happy about our partnership with the All Good as well.
Yeah.
And then on the fourth Thursday of the month, we have it in Gatesville at Ranchers.
Okay.
So.
All right.
And that's always a great group as well. We love our Coryell County people. They've been showing up to the Lake Belton and the Killeen events as well.
Yeah.
So.
My personal favorite is the Smoking Hot Conservatives. I like smoking cigars. It's at a cigar lounge.
And that's really where this kind of developed. Is Eric and I were sitting at the round table at Creekside here in Belton.
Yeah.
And we were like, we should do a review of Melania.
Yes. Yes. Because you guys know, well, first of all, I just have to start out with an apology to everybody who's watching this because, oh, hello, Moto.
Wow.
Hello, Moto.
I'm very old school.
Not
So,
sponsored by Motorola.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored. I want to apologize to everybody right off the bat
For my
because
phone going off.
no, because I liked and disliked the movie. As a filmmaker, I have a lot of critiques and criticisms. Y'all, my critiques are for the production company. They're not for Melania Trump, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So now normally you guys, when we do film reviews, like when we collaborate with the Action Addicts podcast, we're normally watching action movies or films that a lot of times I'll join in if there's a political bend in the movie, or if it's getting review bombed because of the message. Wait, what?
The message.
In the movie, right? Because I cover politics where culture and politics meet. And so do you need to silence that for us?
I thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
So we normally have a format that we go by, right, Ben? Like we talk about the action, the story. Like, how should we do this review?
Plot, it's the general plot, action, cam, or cammed in action.
Yeah, like
I think for this, I think the good, the bad, the ugly is a good order.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay.
What is it about? What did you like about it from everyone? And then what do you think could have been improved?
Okay. All right. Chip, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I have to tell the good part, right?
Yeah. This is what we liked. This is what we liked about the documentary.
So
yeah.
What I really liked about it is that this is Melania. I think it was very true to her. I oftentimes say that I listen to what's not being said.
Yeah.
And this is a great example of what's not being said. She doesn't have to tell you that she's classy and she's intelligent. She is, walking through 20 days of her life, and she's showing her attention to detail.
Yeah.
That's a great picture of her, which there's this great part where she's having her first lady photos taken, and it's just amazing. She's a model. She just does it so naturally.
Yeah.
And
she really is she's a beautiful woman.
She is. And that's really the storyline, is what a beautiful, amazing woman she is. Why is it that a man like President Trump was attracted to her in the first place, and why they do work well together?
Yeah. I think one of the things that you mentioned when we were talking about it was it showcased her attention to detail. This is not just a pretty face. This is a woman who cares about every single detail. She's thinking about the legacy of her family. She's thinking about how she's representing her husband when she's out in public.
And representing Americans.
Yeah.
I did like her use of our country.
Yes.
Yeah. She talked about it, but not the country, our country.
Yeah. Oh, that gave me goosebumps, Ben. That was good. Yeah, because it's so funny. Isn't it funny whenever you hear immigrants being more proud of being American than some Americans?
Yep.
That's one of the things that really stuck out to me, was how proud she was to, like, that the honor, like, she really understands the privilege that she has been given, not just for being wealthy and married to Trump, but the privilege of representing our country.
Yes. And our country deserves somebody who is of class and style. We deserve somebody that we can look up to, even in the first lady position. Just because we elected the president, the first lady has a huge impact on policy and the charitable aspects, the
Yeah.
humanitarian aspects of our country, and that really reflects. It's very reflective from Melania in this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she had her own chief of staff.
Yeah, right?
Apparently, I did not understand
Yes.
what the first lady does. I thought the president does his job, and she just takes on little pet projects. I didn't realize she
Right.
was interviewing staff.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, and this is
She has a chief of staff, and she has staff, um and they take care of the White House,
Yep.
and they curate the White House. She even I
Mhm.
think uses that word
yeah.
for what they do at the White House. There's a big responsibility on the first lady.
So I think they said this was the first time in history that uh a first lady actually basically was responsible for an executive order. I'm trying to remember how they said that. But basically, there's a couple of initiatives that I didn't know, I hadn't really heard of. I didn't know she was leading. One of them is this Fostering the Future, and it's initiative to help kids in foster care, giving them more resources to not end up becoming victims like so many kids do who are in not that all foster parents are bad, not that all foster kids have it hard, but if you're in foster care, let's be real, you're having a harder life than most kids. If you've lost your parents, you might be split up from your siblings. And I love this. I love this. I think this is fantastic. I think this is an organization worth investing in. I think it's a cause worth investing in. I'm not going to lie. When Michelle Obama did the whole like healthy food thing in the school lunches, I thought that was kind of dumb. I know that's probably terrible, but like childhood obesity, you're not going to solve it from the school lunch. That is a thing at home. This is something that is legitimate, that has immediate effect on actual real human beings.
In her defense, I think you have to pair that with the amount of kids that we know from like backpack programs.
Oh, yeah.
Where a lot of kids, their only meal is school lunch.
Okay, that's
So-
fair. Okay, that's fair.
I think that's a whole nother podcast.
I'm like, before you get slaughtered in some comments, let me just
So,
you can slaughter me if you
let
want
me at
to.
least give you the
So,
caveat.
let's get back to the good and leave the bad and the ugly in the past.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So Be Best is this other thing. What I don't understand what this is as much. Did you guys catch what this is?
I think it's an initiative to promote people or children and people to be the best that they can be,
Yeah.
without borrowing a phrase from the Army.
Be all that you can be.
But we should, that is so Melania Trump.
Yeah.
She is so, let's do something a little bit better. Let's rise up. And we all know, I don't know how many times I say this, that a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
and I also say this, we may not be in the same boat, but we're in the same storm. And so we have to bind together and work together. And we all need to be striving for our very best. And I believe that that's even in the imperfections of this movie, that she was doing her best at what she did. She's not a movie maker.
Yeah.
But down to the details on her apparel, having the talking about her mother and her mother being a designer, and we learned a little bit more about her family, her mother and father. Her mother passed about a year before the inauguration last year, so about 2 years now, and but her father's still living, and just a genuine care. It wasn't like a sloppy emotional
Mhm.
It was a genuine care and respect. I loved it when she went
Mm.
to visit St. Patrick's Cathedral to
Mm.
honor her mother
Mm.
upon the anniversary of her death. And I thought that was a very moving. It wasn't a lot of weeping, and
Yeah.
and I've seen that. I've seen that in film. I've seen that in real life, and you can be emotional. You can feel your emotions without just falling apart,
Yeah.
and she did that quite well.
Well, and that is something that I think is really important to point out, and to draw a comparison with how people are criticizing Erica Kirk in the wake of her husband's death. You know, it's been very funny to listen to people say, "Why isn't she crying and falling apart and being a mess?" And then also, it doesn't matter what she does, is if she holds it together to try to be a good steward of this legacy of her husband's, if she holds it together and is stoic to be a good leader, that's criticized, right? But if she's any kind of emotional, that's also criticized. I think it's interesting how it's easy for us plebes to just have our feelings and be a mess. But when you are in charge of people's lives,
Mm.
when your ability to regulate your emotions means the difference between life and death, and or the death of a bit, not just people but business. These people that we've asked to be in leadership have a really great responsibility, and to see that kind of
A,
stoicism.
a very heavy
Yeah.
responsibility.
Mm.
Just you can't imagine the weight that
Yeah.
is on their shoulders. I know in my day life, my 8 to 5 job, um, sometimes it's pretty heavy, and
Yeah.
and I'm just one person who happens to help about 2/3 of a million people in
Yeah.
Texas, but I can only imagine how much heavier it is for the president and his wife
Oh yeah.
to to be to have the not just the weight of Americans, but the entire world.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the president has the weight of the entire world because, as we've often said, if if we sneeze as Americans, the world catches the flu.
Yeah. Well, and it's, contrasted with Trump on the assassination attempt at the
And Butler,
one of the assassination attempts in Butler, to stand back up defiantly
Yeah.
and raise his fist and say fight. I mean, that is going to go down in American history as one of the greatest presidential moments of all time, I think.
Iconic.
It's
It was iconic.
iconic.
It was iconic.
It's iconic.
I just think that, and what one of the glimpses that we got that I thought was really cool was how they were talking about security when they were talking about
Yeah.
the inauguration and the motorcade, and Melania being like, "Okay, well, is it really safe to get out? What
Yeah.
what does safe mean?" You know,
they know where our stops are. They can anticipate where our stops are. How do we make that safe?
exactly.
Yep.
And so this is I know that there's always, I mean, obviously I remember the attempt on Reagan. I remember the shoe getting thrown at Bush.
Yes,
You remember
I
that?
do.
At his
The
dodging.
cat like dodge.
Yo, if you can bring that up, Ben, that would be amazing. I'm going to. Oh shoot, what was I gonna say about that?
Attempt on Reagan. Attempt on Bush.
So I'm sure there's always been attempts on our presidents, and I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff we don't even know that happens. But this
Mhm.
bro and his family,
Mhm.
they must have security. Does their whole family have security 24/7?
I'm sure they do, and I'm sure that that's not something new to them, just because of their status and their wealth
Mm.
in
Yeah.
the world.
Oh,
They already were a target, and so I'm sure that the private security is nothing new to them. But I will say this: that one of her security guys looked very familiar. And I guess it's because we always see him with her anytime we see her. But I was like, man, I know that guy. I mean, and I don't know him, you know. But he was just that familiar. So you know that he's right with her all the time. And that's
Yeah.
usually the way security detail is. There's one person that is just right on
Your
it.
main-
with
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
So just for the record, we're not going to
Yeah.
be lazy. We used AI. The Be Best Initiative is a public awareness program launched in 2018 by Melania Trump, and it's to support children's development and well-being. It's focused on 3 pillars: well-being, promoting positive habits, kindness, and respect; online safety, educating on positive social media use and cyberbullying prevention; and opioid abuse, supporting children and families affected by the opioid crisis.
Oh wow.
And then fostering the future started being focused on later. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I do remember that now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting us back on track.
Yeah. Here, come closer. Come closer. I want to make sure you're in the screen. We got to get it close. Rrrr.
Don't be weird.
Why? I like
No.
being weird.
Don't be weird.
It's my brand.
She's just being generally irritable.
Mwahahaha. Speaking of generally irritable, let's talk about the bad. Let's talk about the bad. Here's the bad.
What I'd like to say is something that I won't say.
There were certain things.
There were some bad apples that showed up in there.
Well, I will say, here's the deal. My libertarian hackles went up as I was listening to her talk about how she was going to redecorate the White House and how every administration basically gets to redecorate the White House and they get a China set and they get all this crap. And I was like, I don't have a China set. Actually, that's not true. I do. I have my grandmother's China. But my point is, it was gifted to me and I can't buy my own China. I guess I could if I saved up the money for it.
But-
But the point is, why?
We should be pronouncing it correctly, though.
What?
China.
So I don't have my own China, okay? I have my grandmother's China, but it's not White House China, okay? It's not the best. I could have better. Why do we pay for that? Why do we pay for the first lady to get to pick out some new crown molding for the rooms? Why are we paying for that? That's not necessary. I can see like every 20 years or so as like styles change. I don't expect the White House to look like it did 250 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm not cool with that.
Well, it's burned since then.
Oh, well, there's that too.
Yeah.
Details.
Well, but that's it. It's all about the details, right?
Yeah.
And that's really, I hate to go back. I mean, I don't ever like to go back, but it's a kind of a common theme in this movie is, you don't notice the details when they're there, but when they're not, it makes a huge difference. And they are hosting heads of state and other, other people of high value in our society, I guess I should say. I don't want to say they're definitely nobody's better necessarily, but
some
they're
animals
have
are
lots,
more equal than others.
That was a preview. We may have to do that movie too. If
Oh,
you
we're
don't
definitely
know
gonna do
it,
that movie.
Oh, we're
May
definitely
1st.
doing that movie.
May 1st,
Absolutely.
Animal Farm, George Orwell's Animal Farm is going to be out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm excited. But anyway, let's stick to the stay on topic.
Okay, so the bad. So that kind of stuff really made me mad. I felt there was something you told me yesterday that I didn't know before. Now I'm trying to remember what it was.
There's so much stuff that I know that I don't know that I know.
Yeah, it just like it comes up.
Well,
This-
y'all are bearing the lead. Look, there are a couple things I was not super huge into. The amount of shaky cam that was
Why?
happening
Why?
was a lot.
Why
and
was
maybe
there
they were
so
going
much
for
shaky cam?
and maybe they were going for like a natural look. Okay, behind the scenes. I'm like, yeah, but like I know cameras well enough to know that it doesn't need to shake that much.
Well, and that's what it felt like, honestly, was a bunch of like, when you and I are at a shoot and we're getting B-roll or doing whatever,
Mhm.
and you like run to place and then you set up and then you focus and whatever.
Yeah.
It felt like a bunch, like, to pad the runtime, they just included all their bad footage. Like they chose, whereas you and I would cut out that shaky part until we get to the point where we're doing the rack focus. They just included all of it. And I think
That's
it was
possible.
intentional. I think a lot of it, like all of the walking
Mm.
and the hair shots, like
Yeah.
so many minutes of this documentary were spent looking at the back of her head walking or her heels.
Yeah. Which that was something that you mentioned from the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
The movie opens up to her walking, right? It's
Yeah.
her heels,
Mhm.
and the Billie Jean from Michael Jackson.
They love Billie Jean in this movie.
Well, Melania does state in the movie that
Yeah.
that's her favorite song, and
Yeah.
Michael Jackson is her favorite artist.
Uh,
And
but-
we can't like critique her necessarily for her poor style of music.
No,
But
I like Billie
no,
Jean.
here's the deal. I like that
Billie
music.
Jean.
I like that music. But the score for this documentary was trash. No, it was
I
trash.
don't think it was trash.
No,
it
it
was a
was
little bit
trash.
confusing.
It was
Okay, let me-
no. Hold on. Let me say this. We are talking about controversial people, right? Melania and Donald Trump. Okay. And they have been accused of this and they've been accused of that, and he's a philanderer and this. And so your opening music
Oh,
is like
yes,
about,
that makes sense.
people always told me, be careful what you do. Like,
but
is that the vibe you're really trying to
not connected.
set for
But
this movie?
then again, I mean, Michael Jackson's being accused of being the
Okay.
father of this child. Hello.
Okay. I mean, okay.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Here's the one
That's
thing that
fair.
there's one
That's
part
fair.
that did throw me off a little bit. And I was like, I would have made a different music choice.
Mm.
When they were in the cathedral.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
you have an immigrant person in a Catholic,
Very Catholic, high church.
Cathedral. and it's
Cathedral.
like a somber moment.
Yes.
So you gotta sound it to me with my inexpert ear, but I'm going on 40 years of being black. Sounded like a black
Oh, it was
choir.
definitely.
You're black.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I'm a pure blood Neanderthal, but I too am also a Negro. So it sounded like a black choir, but not even just a black choir singing Amazing Grace, which I felt like I would have went with a different version. It was more somber.
Yeah.
It was like the live version. It was a live performance
Yeah.
of Amazing Grace. So it was a little distracting.
In a blues bar.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part, but I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I think that maybe they're trying to use not expected music choices. It's like, oh, these are regular people listening to regular music.
No.
So you
The
had
mood doesn't fit.
you had a scene in a very high church Catholic church with an Anglican song to a blues bar setting.
It was an interesting
Yeah,
choice.
that's one of those moments where you expect it to be like,
Yeah. Ave Maria or something like that.
like
Yeah.
somber, like not
Definitely.
hyping you up.
I definitely think that Ave Maria would be a much better choice. But maybe that's not on Melania's playlist.
It's-
And that's
Maybe
really
it's not.
what I got from the soundtrack is that this is her playlist. This is
Oh,
this
okay.
is the
I can hear
soundtrack
it.
of her life. This is what she listens
Then
to.
the production studios should have told her no.
Yeah.
I
Pick another song. You've got more songs
Yeah.
on the playlist, right?
literally. I mean, and this could have been a 45-minute documentary, and the runtime was an hour and 48
And-
minutes.
And she could have had that song somewhere else.
Correct.
Yeah. It
You
would've
know,
fit a little
it
bit.
would have
Absolutely.
fit in another place.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there was other places where they were playing like orchestral music, where
Yeah.
it was like, this shouldn't be orchestral music. This
Oh.
should be like
When Bolero came on,
I literally in my notes
took
I
me
was-
back to Bo Derek. I'm sorry. I was
Wow.
I was a kid. I was a teenager when when Bo Derek was really on the movie screen a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this was I wrote, what is this weird whimsical Disney music? Like in my notes, in my notes during the movie and I want to reiterate, I want to come back because I don't want this to be like my critiques are not of Melania Trump.
no,
My
not at all.
critiques are of the 6 production companies that cooperated to make this documentary.
I want to say, and this is more so my fault than anyone else's. I didn't watch the trailer. I saw Melania. I'm curious what this is about. I want to watch the movie.
Yeah.
But I really was confused. Well, first of all, in the realm of bad, I was 10 minutes late. Let me tell you why I was 10 minutes late. So I'm running late from a job already. I
didn't
get
miss
here. I
anything.
get to the theater.
Hold on, you missed
Her
10
legs.
minutes of her walking.
And Billie Jean.
But
and
look,
her
but
heels.
here's the thing. So I'm coming in mad because as I pull up to the theater, I get to the ticket line. This lady's there with her 2 children. It takes them 10 minutes to order. It's a movie theater. There aren't that many options. You've been here before. It's popcorn, there's candy and hot dogs.
Yeah.
Let's move it along. I hope they overcharge their moving forward. So I come in to the movie theater on that kind of time. And I'm watching, I'm like, wait, and I'm ask Eric, I'm like, did they talk about her life
No.
before? And she's like, no. And then as I'm watching the movie, I'm going, oh, that's not what this movie's about.
Yeah.
This is about the transition and everything,
Yes.
which is cool.
It was interesting.
It was interesting. All the details, all the stuff, the elegance, which was really nice.
Although that
but-
also made me mad. The
But here's the
caviar
thing.
and the
But
golden
here's the thing.
eggs. I was
No,
like,
you
these
get
mother-
let me thank
Okay.
you. My point was, I would have liked to have seen more about like her and like who is she. And I know that's not the point of this doc, but that's what
That's
I
what I
really
thought
would
it
have
was.
wanted to see some more of that.
But again, I think if you listen to what's not being said, you do get an insight on her and who she is. And I think that
Well,
is the-
yeah.
and you did miss the part. She does at the beginning say that this is the 20 days
before
the inauguration.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I got it once
Yeah.
I watched it. It's like,
I
okay,
didn't know
that's
that.
what's happening. I'm just saying, as a personal, like me, if I had made the movie, I would have definitely had like 5 or 10 minutes of just, this is the village I grew up in.
Yeah.
This is some
it's
photos
called
of my
Melania.
life.
It's
Right.
called Melania. It's
'Cause
not
I don't
called
know any of that.
transition or inauguration.
right.
And so I felt a little bit let down. I wanted to learn more about her as a human being.
Because we're not going to hear that anywhere else. And this is the interesting
Yeah.
thing.
Right. Oh,
She-
you're definitely not going to hear it off of the
No one,
Yeah.
no
regular
one's going to
media.
give us that story.
Yeah.
So it would have been great for them to use this as a chance to do that. Because like, are we going to go watch another documentary about who she is and where she's from? Probably not. Which is unfortunate.
Well, and I
So-
think it's interesting to know what actually matters in a first lady. You
Mhm.
know, they did say she has an education in architecture,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which I didn't know that. But it makes you wonder about other first ladies. And this is not meant to be a cut on anybody else, but what are the character qualities of a good first lady? What does that mean? There is a part of me, again, my libertarian leanings go, who gives a crap about the first lady? Why do I even know anything about her? Why is she affecting politics?
Yeah.
She's not elected. She just got the job because she's married to the guy. And I've always
I know
felt
what you're
that way.
referencing now.
I've always felt that way. Like,
No, you're referencing Bill Burr. That's his bit. He was like, we didn't
Oh.
elect you. We elected him. Why are you talking?
oh, maybe that's where I heard it, but I agree with that. Like, I did not elect you. And why are you out there, like Hillary Clinton? That's how I always felt about Hillary Clinton. And like, it's like,
Oh.
you are not the politician. And if you want to be a
Oh.
politician, go be a politician. Don't ride your husband's coattails into something. Make something for yourself.
I
Like, if
gotcha.
that's your deal, do that.
But I think that's why it matters, because she is going to be in the room. She is going to be involved in some of that stuff. So from that perspective, we should care who you're married to.
And
Yeah.
pillow talk does matter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So I think with Melania, which is interesting. The dichotomy there is kind of interesting because our public view of Trump is that he's not diplomatic, elegant. He's Donnie from New York,
Yeah. Donnie from Queens.
from the construction site. I mean, he's more than that, but that's how people like to view Trump. And by contrast, that is not who Melania is.
Yeah.
She's classy and she's elegant, and you can tell she thinks about what she's going to say. So she's the opposite. So one of the funny things is the
Interesting.
lack of coverage of her is like, well, you may not like Donald Trump, but there isn't a reason for you to dislike her.
Yeah.
And they're missing some prime opportunities here.
Well, and it, oh, go ahead. No.
I
You
just had to take a deep breath.
Oh, I think what you said is really important is that the first lady is going to have influence.
Mhm.
And who do you want to have influence over the most powerful person in the world? Do you want it to be somebody like Melania or someone like Hillary?
Who has their own personal agenda.
Yeah.
And you got to
Pardon
think,
me.
and she's going to be talking to the other dignitaries' wives, like she
Yeah.
was
Yes.
talking to,
She
Macron.
does have to greet not heads of state and their spouses, because heads of state also come in both
Mm.
genders.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And,
Yep.
and,
So,
uh,
it
d-
matters.
and there is an homage in there to Jackie O.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, there's some great first ladies that I love to death, but I think Melania is the closest style wise to Jackie O, and a good throwback to that.
Yeah.
If this was a Bond movie and she was a Bond girl, that's what I would say. As an homage to
Yeah.
the previous movie. But
Yeah.
and sometimes it does feel like these presidential administrations are like just a movie. Some of them are great, some of them not so great. All of them have action.
Well, and I think that you know what? Let's watch the trailer.
Okay.
Let's watch the trailer. Ben, can you tell if the audio is going to play? If I play it?
1 second. Jump back in here.
I did say to share the audio, but you know how it is sometimes. Oh,
I can hear it.
Here we go again.
You can come in. Come on in. Our proudest legacy will be that of peacemaker.
Peacemaker in the fire. Beautiful. Together with like-minded leaders, we have a voice. Is it safe?
It is safe.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is. Hi, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
yeah.
Mm.
See, that's what that trailer
Mm.
made me think we were going to see like so much more personality.
Yeah.
The shots also, like that first shot of Here We Go Again that's in the trailer, that's
Yeah.
like the best camera shot of the entire film.
The Here We Go Again, the line even was good. I was like, that's
Yeah.
kind of funny. And then the way can we spoil the ending? Like what she says? Should we not spoil that?
I
When
don't
she
think
says,
so.
I will move forward, that
Mm,
line.
yeah.
I don't go watch it. It was a really good line. But she talks about moving forward and how they're going to move forward. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was good.
And again, that's very much her style and his too. Is everything that gets thrown at them, they still continue to move forward
Yeah.
Yeah.
with resilience.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, I mean, like, really think about it. This man, unlike every president is criticized and has their scandals and all that kind of stuff. This man, they literally are trying to kill him. They
Yeah.
were so afraid of him becoming president again that they radicalized our nation into committing murder against a president, against conservatives, against, like violence is acceptable.
It's wild.
And yet, and think about, oh my God, if you search, if I had cops or the DOJ digging through my life, I would probably end up with some more criminal prosecutions myself. How is it possible that this whole family has had their entire life torn apart, shredded, looking for any possible piece of evidence to put them in jail, bankrupt them, whatever, and they're still standing? Can-
What does that tell you about them and who they are and their character? They
Mm.
they don't go hide somewhere. I mean, they
Mm.
could go lock themselves up in Mar-a-Lago or go somewhere else
Yeah.
and not participate and not be out there doing what they feel called to do.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that tells you a lot about strength and character.
Yeah. And again, Melania does not she doesn't have to have a center stage. She doesn't have to do anything. She's not required to do any of this stuff.
But when she walks in the room, she commands the room.
Yeah. I believe that.
One thing I will say that was interesting to watch is the in between moments of the transitions,
Mm.
like with Biden and I
Oh,
think, yeah,
Yeah.
it's mostly Biden, and you see Biden and
Jill.
no, but Biden and Bush and these different people
Right.
together.
Oh, at the inauguration. Yeah.
Here's the joke to me is that everyone is having all these fights in real life. You're out here fighting people over politicians who, when they see each other, will not risk their lives or
Correct.
their freedom fighting each other. They
Yep.
don't think it's important enough to punch each other in the face. So why would you? Like, my freedom is just as important as Joe Biden's or Trump's or whoever. And if they can be cordial when they see one another after all the nonsense they said about each other directly, you think I'm going to jail for any of these jokers? I'm not getting in trouble over politics. And I think if people saw the movie
Yeah.
and took away anything for use in your life, it's that, hey, man, these people, while they might be bitter enemies politically, they're not out burning each other's cars
No.
and tearing down stores and whatever. And the politicians in the Senate and the House, they might be telling you to do that. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
So maybe take it easy.
Yeah.
Maybe relax.
Yeah. They're all yucking it up together at the balls that, again, we pay for.
You mentioned the caviar and the golden eggs, and
Yeah.
the balls too. Let me be very, very clear on that. Those are not taxpayer funds that covers that.
It's
Good.
not.
The inauguration committee raises the funds for that.
Good.
So that is not paid out of taxes.
Okay. I
I mean,
appreciate that.
It technically is taxpayer money because taxpayers are the ones that
Donating
contribute.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, it's
Yeah, that's
it's not from our taxes.
Oh,
That-
okay.
So or
That
any
makes me
other
feel a little
revenues
better.
from the federal government that comes from personal and some there's probably some lobbyists that
Yeah.
pay into
Mm.
that fund.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but all the inauguration stuff, from the parade to the candlelight dinner that they had to the balls, and it is either the inauguration committee or a different organization. Like there's a Texas Society in Washington D.C. I don't know if
Okay.
people know that. I used to be a member, and I really wish I probably should re up. But they throw the black tie and boots ball every inauguration. I've been to it twice, and that is funded by the society or the funds that they can raise,
Okay.
and some of that includes sponsorship, but also I know at least one of them, they have like a marketplace with vendors there.
Okay.
And so the vendors paid in to be a part to be there too.
Okay.
It's good.
All right. Okay. That makes me less mad. Also, one thing that you shared with me yesterday when we were talking was that the Clintons rented out the Lincoln Room. Was that it?
That's my understanding. Yeah, I mean, you could go stay in the Lincoln Room if you paid enough money to. And we talked about that, and like, did that go? I mean, that'd be great if that went into the federal coffers to help pay our
national debt.
You know, but I'm pretty sure that may have gone to a foundation that is very questionable.
Are they gonna get investigate? Are they being investigated? The foundation?
I don't know. And if it's an active investigation, they're probably not gonna. There's probably not going to be any word on whether it is or not.
Are the
However,
Clintons gonna get
I don't really like to date this because I don't know when y'all are watching this, but this morning I think they did say there was talk that there's cooperation that they were going to go in and testify before Congress.
Yeah, because they have not responded to subpoenas. And do you remember what happened when Trump administration officials didn't respond to subpoenas?
So let's get back on the topic.
So,
because that's a whole nother podcast.
So, okay. All right. So so to wrap up, everybody, how about everybody give their final thoughts as we round the 45-minute mark of the podcast? Okay.
So go see the movie. Whether you politically agree with Trump or not, go see the movie. Go and watch it for what's not being said, what you can get out of it that tells the story of Melania and who she is, because it does humanize her. She's not just a Barbie doll in the White House. She is a real live person that has been through struggles and the same feelings that we have, the emotions, whether it's joy of having a child or the sadness of losing a parent. And I think that's a very important story.
Yeah.
One other thing, because I did want to talk about the fashion designer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go for it.
I was so impressed because the fashion designer is there, and he's they're doing her dress for the inauguration, and he like draws it just out of nowhere with a Sharpie. And I mean, that is talent. So I want to recognize that guy's talent. And and you just don't find that anywhere. And so she because of the world she comes from, the modeling world, she has access to that. It's not access because she's first lady.
Yeah.
She has already earned that privilege
on
her own.
Yeah. I would agree with that. That was pretty cool. That guy was funny. He
Yeah.
was so giddy.
He was having a good time.
He was so giddy. And I loved that. It was really cool to see, like, that's got to be a lot of pressure too, as a designer, to be like styling somebody who is that, and you're in that millions of people are going to be looking at your designs.
Yeah.
For the rest of the existence of the archives of the Smithsonian.
Yeah. That like her dress goes into an archive from the inauguration. So it was always funny to me, especially during the first Trump administration. Nobody wanted to style her. People, she doesn't have a cover of Vogue like every other freaking first lady. But she's an actual model. Right. So we have an actual model, an actual one, and you guys are so, your TDS is so bad.
It's pure politics.
That, like, it's just crazy. But I think what you said was really important. This isn't just some, good looking broad that Trump married. This is a human being that has her own thoughts and opinions, expectations, wants and desires. And I agree with you. It's worth going to see. It's slow. It's just really slow, so if you're going there thinking that it's going to be like, it's fast paced, no, it's very slow. And, but it was worth watching for sure. And again, my critiques are not of Melania. They are of the production company, who I think could have done a better job articulating her story.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Ben? Final thoughts.
I mean, I'm not mad that I watched it. It's not the kind of thing I typically watch. I learn things. Do I think I would spend top premier dollar, like full $20, $15 at a theater? Probably not. Probably catch it on a matinee. Because again, I'm an action guy. This is not an action movie. So it is what it is. I'm also like,
We're also fiscally responsible.
yes,
I'm not
like,
gonna lie, I took the matinee senior price myself.
just being fair. Like, this is not something where I need the audience energy there while I'm watching it. You can catch this in the middle of them.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth watching, especially if you don't know anything about her or if you don't know anything
Yeah.
about first ladies. And
Yeah.
I think that as Americans, we should have more understanding of all the different parts of civics, basically. So I think it was interesting to watch what all goes into a first lady and why it matters. And that was just like 20 days, right?
Yeah.
Just 20 days, all the things that she was responsible for.
Yeah.
So imagine the rest of the year.
That's a good point.
I think that's worth looking at. So yeah, it's worth your time.
Also, I'm going to go on record here and now saying that Baron definitely has Nephilim blood.
Oh my God. I'm not saying that.
He's so
But
freakishly tall.
Okay.
here's what's funny.
He's so tall.
The one thing I
He
will
might
say
be
that was
Nephilim.
funny.
I'm just
The
saying.
one part that was funny was that there's a part where her media team is talking about the news or something. And they're like, hey, are you going to give them your media contacts? Do you trust them? And the girl's like, of course not. And I'm like, yes.
And I think that would be any administration.
Yes.
Again, I hate to keep like adding one more thing, but there really is a lot.
There is.
So, but I think that we would be remiss if we did not mention her influence in having that hostage freed in the Gaza.
Oh,
yeah.
And
yes.
I'm sorry, I can't remember his name because I'm old and I don't remember.
I
things
don't
sometimes.
remember either.
But she met with his wife about during that 20-day
20
period.
days.
It was following the inauguration that he was actually released, but he was released back to his family, Israelite.
Yeah.
And so the pillow talk matters.
Yeah.
And first ladies can make an impact.
Well, and we have to remember that Melania Trump is from Slovakia.
Mhm.
So that was part of the USSR.
Mhm.
So her and her family,
Slovenia.
sorry,
Yes.
Slovenia, they know what it's like to live in a place that is not free. This is a family, this is a woman who understands the privilege that we have of being American, the benefits that we get. And I think that compassion and that empathy really shone through in what we saw in this film. Like she really I believe she really genuinely cares. Like, it did not feel forced. It did not feel acted. I think this woman actually really loves our country, loves the responsibility that she's been given, and takes it very seriously. I think that's cool. All right. Cool.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for this review of Melania. We do encourage you to go see it, at least like rent it or whatever when it comes out. It's worth a watch, even if you don't want to go to the movies and sit for an hour and 48 minutes. It is. I'm just being honest. Again, Rat Pack. I don't know what you were thinking. Do better. Be better.
Be better.
Be best.
Be best.
Anyway. All right, guys. We'll come back. You want to come back for Animal Farm?
Definitely.
What else do we have coming up? Is there any other movie reviews that we've been? Oh, Pendragon Cycle.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Be on the lookout. The Daily Wire program, Rise of Merlin. Ben and I have been watching it. We've got through the first 3 episodes. Not sure when we're going to do our review, but we're going to come back and do a review of that too.
Brunch with Ben.
Go check out Brunch with Ben on all the socials. It's on the Elephant in the Room Strategies page, right?
It had Brunch with Ben has its own Facebook page.
Oh, and Brunch with Ben has its own. So that's the Ben Franklin interview that we were talking about earlier. You guys go check it out. We've got more in the pipeline that are going to be coming up. All right. And we're out.